Love you too.
Have a seat, Joe. And we've got two stars from the new comedy drama, The Meyerowitz Stories. The first is one of America's funniest people, from Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and The Wedding Singer. It's a very warm welcome for the first time to Mr. Adam Sandler. She's the double Oscar-winning star of Sense and Sensibility, Howard's End, and Nanny McPhee. Please welcome the great Emma Thompson! Welcome all. Very nice to see you all. Yeah, what a shiny couch. Now, by the way, we should say straight off the bat, the great Dustin Hoffman was supposed to be here because he's in the movie with you guys as well.
Yes.
He is. But he know well. You know what he... No.
Oh, no. Oh, he's having the food poisoning.
No, apparently it's both ends. It's quite bad.
Is it maybe a good thing he's not here?
I think it's a good thing he's not here.
Yeah.
Yes. But Adam Sandler, first time, but you've never been here before.
No, I'm very happy to be here.
Well, we're delighted you're here. We're very happy to see you. Yeah. No, and Adam, I mean, Adam Sandler fans there, but Adam Sandler, Cara Delevingne, you're a bit of a fan.
I'm a really big fan.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a very big fan of everyone on this couch. I'm a huge fan. But all of your movies, I swear, like, I know Little Nicky was probably one of my favourite movies.
Really?
I watched it. I've watched it so many times.
Excellent.
I actually dressed up as one of the guys for Halloween. You know, the one with the boobs on his head.
Really?
Anyway, find that picture later.
Now, the two of you have just been in Cannes.
Yeah.
With your new movie, which you also starred with Justin. And it went well, I think, it's fair to say.
Yes.
What was it, a 4-minute standing ovation?
Yes.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to boo in Cannes, are they? If they don't like something, they tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a picture of you all at Cannes. There you are, celebrating.
Oh,
Yes.
And this is now, because I was saying to you backstage, is this your new look now, Adam Sandler? You're so scrubbed up.
I hate it. I really don't. I'm not comfortable like this. But this is something that for years my mother has been yelling at me about, and for about 25 years of television shows, I've looked not that great, and my wife is sick of it all, and so they got some nice lady came over to my office with a bunch of suits, and I had to buy them. I thought they were gonna...
Look, even your shirt's trying to escape.
I know, it knows.
Exactly. It's just, get me off this man's body. It's not, he doesn't want me to be wearing it.
Can you tie a tie?
I can't. I learned that when I was for my bar mitzvah when I was 13, how to do this. But I've done it the bar mitzvah. I've gone to court a few times for tickets. That was it. No, but I can. Dustin Hoffman actually put last night. I had this on. He said, "Come here. You knew the gangster. Let me give it gangster style." And I said, "No, I think it's good." He goes, "No, okay, undo your tie." And I undid my tie. And he put a gangster. I don't know, Windsor. He made it like a different tie. But it was so short. And he was so happy with how he did it. I had to leave it short the whole night. So
Now, Claire Foy, you seem ecstatic to be on red carpets. I mean...
Oh, I love them.
No, honestly, you look high as a kite. I mean, in fairness, this is Claire just after winning a Golden Globe for Best Actress.
Yes,
so no wonder she looks
right.
so ecstatic.
Brilliant.
There she is. You're like, what's this?
I don't really know when they begin and end. That's the point. There needs to be some sort of regulating them.
Plaster a huge, great grin on your face and keep it on the whole night.
Yeah.
You absolutely, otherwise, especially in award ceremonies, you know, the camera goes across everybody and people are just like flicking their teeth, looking up in the air and just bored and all.
No, but that was a kind of a slightly on. But imagine how happy Claire Foy will be because she's on the cover of this month's Vogue. Let's see your big smiling face here. Do they tell you on things like not to... Do they just say, do not, whatever you do not look happy?
Is that American Vogue or British Vogue?
British Vogue.
Yeah, because British Vogue, you always have to look very stern, but American Vogue, they like you to smile a little bit. They like you to look slightly, you know, it's more like, yeah, that one. Is that what I was getting off there? Tiny bit. It's like you have to smile, but you can't actually smile. That sort of thing. Smize, they call it.
With the eyes.
No, because I was wondering with this. So, does somebody coach you? Does somebody kind of go,
no,
do not look happy or I'll be over there?
Well, no, I mean, like, by that point, you'll know, but that you've done, like, 6 hours of sort of standing and with your arm up and have cramp. And so by that point, if someone asks you to genuinely look happy, it's just not going to happen. So I just think, be blank and hope for the best. Yeah. It's quite like acting, really.
But in fairness, on red carpets, you know, Cara Delevingne, you are a professional model.
I love it that you say my whole name all the time.
Cara Delevingne. Cara Delevingne.
I know what you mean.
Cara feels like I've stopped too soon.
It's a short name. Yeah.
Cara. Cara is something. Is it the in-flight magazine of Aer Lingus?
Okay.
I think it is, isn't it?
In Gaelic means friend, so that could be a thing.
Yeah, no, I think it is. That's probably why I'm not saying Cara. Yeah.
No, I like it. It rolls off the tongue.
Cara Delevingne. So, Cara Delevingne, even she on a red carpet, you can get distracted. We've got a picture of you with your co-star...
There's generally quite distracting things on the red carpet.
Yes, well, this is you with Rihanna. You look...
Guys, who wouldn't? Sorry.
I like that. That is so not... It's not even subtle. It's just like, hello.
I mean, I remember, because I've known her for a very long time, and I just remember seeing, because every time, I mean, especially in that show, she obviously has magnificent lungs.
Yes.
And face, obviously, no, but she, you know, I just went up to her and was like, you look amazing. Then every time she was like, you've got to be on boob watch. And so I just, because, you know, it's definitely something you have to be careful of.
But,
So I was being a good friend, guys.
But Emma Thompson, I feel like you're very happy to have your picture taken.
No, not really. Yeah, you're entirely wrong.
Because I see there's a picture, someone posted it on Twitter
Oh my God, yes.
of you, and there's a fence in it, and I don't know who's being protected.
Fence in it? There's a fence in it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the Reading Music Festival.
I saw you there. No, I wish.
Oh, my
That would have been amazing.
That was me and my 54-year-old best mate and 90,000 teenagers.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I can't tell you. And I thought, this is nice, this is nice. And then, well, two things happened. First of all, I got into the mosh pit with the Arctic Monkeys were playing, and I thought, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I was like all crushed in, being moved up and down by people thinking, oh, now's when I die. Now, I always wondered, and I thought it would probably be young, but I didn't picture this, you know? And then I thought we all walked back, you know, with the 90,000 teenagers who were all high on various, and I thought, this is really quite nice. And then someone shat on someone's tent, and then someone blew up the tent, you know, and then it would just, and then the toilets overflowed, and I had to use those little piss things, you know, because
well, the
you go into the little
she-weed.
Yeah, the little she things. And, of course, it's absolutely hilarious because you pee down it and it's supposed to go down the chute, and instead what it does is take all of the wee and push it into your body and down the leg. It's a very efficient thing if you want to cover yourself in wee for whatever medical reason. You might have psoriasis or something. Then it would work. It would be good.
You should have been a doctor, Emma Thompson. You were wasted as an actress. Wasted.
It's so true. Oh, it was hell. It was hell. I'm never going again.
I love what people would have thought when they're high on whatever at Reading Festival, running into you, being like, Nadia McPhee. Or something. No way, is that real?
Covered in wee. Nadia McPhee covered in wee.
You took a she-ra.
It's just tragic.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the main event tonight, The Marriage Stories, new and selected. It's streaming now on Netflix, and it is, well, you know, it's so good. It's terrific.
Thanks.
It really is.
Proud of it, we are, aren't we?
You really should. It's Noah Baumbach, and it's sort of everything you want. It's quirky, it's funny, it's serious, it's just terrific. So it's about a dysfunctional family. It's sort of children trying to cope with a father who wasn't a father, played by Dustin Hoffman.
Right.
So who do you play, Adam?
Oh, I play his son. Dustin's character is kind of a very... He runs the family. He's a very smart, strong guy, and he's an artist. And I play his son, who's didn't become an artist. Kind of, I'm a piano player, but I just kind of he doesn't love being in the limelight. He's very nervous around that stuff, and I feel like a failure. And I think in the what it is Dustin's my dad and Ben Stiller's dad and Elizabeth Marvel's dad, but he divorced my mom in the movie and married another woman, and Ben grew up with Dustin and I didn't, so we have a different relationship. And then this young lady, you become, I think, Dustin's fourth wife, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's fair to say the fourth wife, she quite likes a glass of wine with dinner.
Yeah, she's not really functioning at all, alcoholic. I mean, there's a passing resemblance to, as I noticed now, Professor Trelawney. I didn't mean that to happen.
No, honestly not. It is like you just came from one set to the other.
Seriously, I've just realised.
You've never noticed that before?
No. No, isn't that extraordinary? Anyway, Professor Trelawney obviously is...
now married to Dustin Hoffman.
Not well.
Yeah, fifth wife.
But my character is... she's somebody who wanted to marry someone who would be something, you know, and she thought this ageing sculptor would somehow be... She would be his muse, you know, and that hasn't happened, and she doesn't have a relationship with the kids, and she's a bit messed up. I mean, she is an alcoholic, so we did enjoy that, didn't we?
You were great.
We had a laugh. I had a laugh playing an alcoholic. I mean, not much acting required, obviously.
And Adam, what's so sweet about your character, and I think this happens a lot in families, where you're kind of the kid who's doing the most of the caregiving, but you're the least appreciated.
Right. Absolutely,
Exactly.
yes.
But I was going to say, it reminds you of your own father, but no, not like that. But your father, he gave you quite a hard time.
Well, my father was... The difference in the family... my father in real life was wasn't selfish. He was all about his family. But he was a strong guy, and he was... We definitely... we were a little scared of him. We didn't want to make him upset, but we loved him more than anything on the planet. But yeah, there was terror.
But then I think the weirdest thing he did was the dog.
Oh yeah, he named the dog Adam. He'd always say, Adam, come in here, and I'd come in and he'd go, not you, the dog. We loved him. Exactly. Thanks.
Listen, let's have a look at a clip. This is the family basically discussing the inheritance, the legacy, if you will.
Thinking about selling the house? Why?
It's very expensive to keep this place up, and we're spending more time at the country house now.
But the country's yours.
Well, I had it before we were married, but it's ours. Everything is ours now.
You're selling all of the art? Dad, why?
We don't have room for
Do you want to sell?
Oh, come on. Cabrera just grounded into a double play.
Matt set this up?
I told him it was a family discussion.
I think it is. I don't think you should sell it all. I'm telling you.
Didn't expect you to get so upset about it.
I am upset about it.
Why do you care?
I don't know. We've lived here for years.
You haven't. This is where Matthew grew up. You lived in Queens with your mother.
It's a Meyerowitz tradition, this house.
Well, I guess I wouldn't know about that.
I didn't mean it like that.
She gets sensitive about these things. She feels like an outsider. She doesn't have kids of her own. I tell her, technically, you're their stepmother.
Presumably, one of the joys for you guys, I mean, it's weird because he's not here, but working with Dustin Hoffman, again, was that the reason you said yes, or was it written for you, Adam?
What happened was, something like me and Ben Stiller know each other for a long time, and I went to his, he got a Walk of Fame star in Hollywood, and I went to, there was a party, and Mickey Rooney was there. I remember that. That was cool. But Mickey Rooney and Stiller were tight. anyways, I saw we were hanging out, me and Stiller, and I said, I don't see you enough. We have to do a movie someday together. And I said, you know, we'd make good brothers. And he's like, yeah, we could definitely. I said that to Tom Cruise, too, but it didn't happen. Not yet.
Actually, you really could play brothers. That's a very good idea.
I could be Cruise's goofy brother, for sure. But,
Look at them, look.
yes.
Cruise is like that size.
Well, he's a bit younger brother, smaller brother.
But anyways, Noah and Stiller are very. They did 2 movies together already, and then we all went to lunch, and Noah came up with this idea, and then he wrote it. So, but then Emma and Dustin, that came along after. I couldn't believe that. That was very exciting. How did it all happen for you, anyways, Emma?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
No, so I think my agent rang me up and said, "Do you want to do with this job?" You know, and I said yes.
Yeah.
So it was that fascinating.
Great story.
Yeah, I worked on that one for a while.
But I read in an interview you said the first time you worked with Dustin that when you met him, it was kind of a thing.
Oh yeah. Because he's one of my great idols, and I met him. We did something called Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell, and
that's a great one.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Nice piece of writing, and we had lunch. There was a lunch, and I mean it's like 15 years ago, I think, and I was sitting at the back. I know what it was. It was my birthday, actually. It was my birthday lunch, and he came down this sort of aisle of this restaurant. You know that walk. You know the sort of.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, you know, without the fringes. And, these trousers are too tight. They're actually parting my vagina. I borrowed them.
I don't think anyone will want them back.
Now I know. Oh, you'd be surprised. Anyway, I don't know how guys do it. Ow. Anyway. And I just had this kind of this incredible reaction to him because it was a sort of éblouissement, as the French would say. It was just like being overwhelmed with this sense of all of those things that he'd played that had really touched me and moved me, you know, from Midnight Cowboy on, just especially that one, actually, that heartbreaking, broken man. Yeah, he's a great man.
But Emma, do you get that where people have the same reaction to you because you've really moved them in things, or no? I get, you know, various things. I mean, the Love Actually thing, people do sometimes do that kind of. They just do that.
How many people, I must imagine, go up to you and go, that scene?
Yes.
Because Claire Foy, you get quite an emotional reaction from fans, don't you?
Not so much fans, but one lady I met in a chip shop.
Well, let's go with that story there.
Just that one lady, the poor... I really enjoyed meeting you. Can I just say to her, wherever... She's not in the audience.
She's a little bit funny.
Yeah, if this makes it onto the show.
If you smell vinegar, she's nearly here.
But no, I was at the chip shop, and a woman came in and we started chatting because we were waiting. They were, you know, battering our cod. We started having a chat, and she'd been on a Tinder date, and she was a bit drunk, and she was talking about how it hadn't gone very well, but hopefully they were going to be friends. And it was great. And then my mum FaceTimed me, and for some reason, me picking up my iPhone and talking to my mother reminded her of the Queen, and she went, "Oh my God!" I went, "Oh, this is." I ended the call with my mum, and she went, "I love you so much. I love you so much." And I think it was a combination between the chat we'd had previously, the Tinder date, the alcohol, the chip shop element that made the tears come. But it was quite. We cuddled. And that was it was a special moment for me as well. I mean, it was a depressing moment for her, but I loved it.
It's so much better, basically.
Yeah, you cheered up a Tinder date, didn't you? Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah, people tell the story and it ends with, and then...
I really hope she watches this.
But it's also fantastically cheering to find a member of the royal family in a chip shop. Under any circumstances, that is a cheering thing.
And listen, very quickly, season 2 of The Crown. Yes. Everybody's very excited. That comes out in December. It's coming out. And now, we all love The Crown. But I'm surprised. So this is already your last stint
That's it, yeah.
What?
It's over.
Why would you do that to us?
Well, because it's just, that's it, I'm done.
But can you not do another season?
No.
Why not?
No, don't suggest that, Graham.
Were you always only supposed to do...
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to do a bigger chunk.
No, we always knew it was only going to be 2 series, so I'm completely... From the beginning, it's always been what I've known, and that then the part is reincarnated and someone else goes on. That's the nature of the part. That's
the Queen's like Bond, essentially.
Yeah, Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bond, yeah.
Do you know who's stepping into the crown now?
Yes, I do.
Do you really? I just assumed you'd say no.
No, I didn't.
So can we tickle you till you tell us?
No, don't, because I will tell you.
Oh, is it someone we know? Is it someone we know?
Yeah, yes.
Is it?
Yes. Well,
Like somebody famous?
Stop it! It's
Do they
someone
have
who
brown
acts
hair?
for a living.
OK.
So a professional actor's going to play the role. I like what they've done with this. It's
Interesting direction.
You don't tell
You're
us
not
about
allowed to
it.
tell us, right?
Absolutely not.
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
All right, move on.
No, but do you not know?
Because this isn't going to get us anywhere, Graham.
Oh, do you know?
No. No. I don't know.
She told you.
No, but your husband Greg's in it, so does he not?
Oh, yeah.
Is he not?
My husband, Greg, yes, he's in it, yes. Yes, he is in it. He's Mountbatten, you know. But I'm not willing to say anything. Why am I doing a German accent?
I don't know. It's good, it's good. But of course, and what's odd, of course, is you have also played the Queen.
Yes, I have. Not as well as Claire, I have to tell you.
You're looking good, though.
Look at my face. I look like
you
a
go.
slapped arse.
Yeah. A very good one, mate.
And you're right, Claire is so good in it.
Yeah, it's
so good in it.
fantastic.
But
She's
but
amazing.
you've said how there are some kind of little tricks you use, like for the voice. You have a little trick for the voice.
Well, I'm Mancunian originally, and the only thing I've kept is how I pronounce one, which is I say one, which is completely wrong. And it took me about 5 months of just drilling, of going one, as opposed to wad. I still slip every once in a while. Matt had his own whole situation with was and because and all this sort of stuff. But one. I'm losing it already. I can already feel her going.
No, it's so
but I really had to just... Every time before doing a take, I'd be like, one. Try just to get it in there. It's so weird.
Extraordinary voice, isn't it?
It's so bizarre.
It's the weirdest blooming voice.
It's so
like
hard to
nothing
do.
else.
It's still weird, you know. I mean, when she does the afternoon speeches at Christmas, it's like going back in time. You just go, how does anyone still speak like that? It's extraordinary.
Maybe she does the same thing.
Maybe she doesn't.
Listen, Claire, you were actually here tonight to tell us about your new film. It's called Breathe. It opens tonight. And it's a mind-boggling story, and it's sort of extraordinary that I certainly did not know this story. Robert Cavendish and his wife. And he was well, both of them were proper sort of pioneers.
Yeah, they were sort of forced into that position. Robin contracted polio in Africa, and their life was seemingly going incredibly well. They were young, they were in love, the going was good. And then suddenly he was told he had 3 months to live. She was pregnant, 8 months pregnant at the time, and during that time gave birth to the producer of the film, Jonathan Cavendish. He's the producer of the film. Oh, it makes me feel a bit emotional talking about it. Yeah. And it's a story about how he was given 3 months to live, and he just kept on living, and it gets to a point where he he goes through a period of depression, and there's a sort of face-down moment where they have to decide whether he's going to keep going down this route of depression and misery, or whether he's just going to say, this is it, and we're going to make the best of it. And they changed the lives of disabled people around the world. They invented and made the first wheelchair for respiratory people who rely on breathing apparatus to live, which meant that people who had been confined to iron lungs and hospital for the rest of their days could live and breathe and get out there and live their lives.
And it's amazing that a patient invented it, not a doctor.
Oh, well, yeah, because at the time, you know, it's an interesting thing with disability or anything like that, that people want to do the best for people. It's not that people are trying to keep people in their place.
Yeah.
You want to help people and you want people to live. But they were just terrified, and modern medicine is an incredible thing, but it takes risk. And Robin Cavendish was willing to risk his life, and they changed people's lives. I can't even tell you. Extraordinary people.
And he's brilliant, played by Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
And you play Diana, the wife. And it's a terrific movie, and you are terrific in it. Here's a taste of what to expect from Breathe.
I'm not feeling too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cara Delevingne brings us a new string to her already crowded bow. It's a novel. I've got it here. It's called Mirror, Mirror.
Crowded bow.
It's out now. So, what can people expect? Yes, it's a novel.
Well, it's a book. It has words. That's good for a book.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a fictional novel. It's classed as a young adult novel, but I feel like adults can read it. I've had a lot of older friends read it, and it really brings you back to being a teenager because it's very visceral. It describes very much the kind of the smells and the emotions and the hormones and all that fun stuff as being a teenager is. But it's about 4 friends growing up in London, and yeah, the kind of it's again for everybody, you know, we've all been there. It can be a turbulent roller coaster at times, you know, there's lots of ups and downs. It's also got a few twists in there which are really, really good, and it's got a kind of crime mystery solving element to it as well.
And I've heard you talk about it. I mean, you have a real sense of, you know, ownership of this book and this story and these characters, but at the same time you're very open to the fact that you wrote it with Rowan Coleman. So how did that work technically? How does that work?
So that process, I mean, growing up, you know, at school, I had no confidence in myself at writing, you know, because of my grades weren't always good in English and stuff like that. I loved writing so much, but because I never got an A, I just thought I would never be able to do it. But I love writing. It was always such a passion for me, especially dealing with things, mental health issues and stuff like depression. It's such a great way to express yourself. You know, the process of actually going about it, I had these ideas. I met a few writers. Rowan was the person I met, and we both, you know, when you just click with someone and you have that, you know, when you're creating something and you just have that spark, and these ideas, more things just started kind of flowing out of us. And it was.
And would you sit in a room? Would you sit in a room together?
Yeah. Well, because I met a few different writers. Because I wanted to find the right person.
Yeah.
And I had ideas already, you know, I wrote a diary when I was younger, and I had all these kind of pictures and notes and things that I wanted to bring into it. And she was just the one.
And then what interests me is, because I guess your fan base is, you know, there's a lot, you know, you've got this amazing Instagram followers and Twitter and things. Is it a big leap to say those people that could commit to a whole novel, a big, you know, a chunk of book?
Well, it's, you know, yesterday I did a book signing, and I had mostly young girls and weirdly older men.
That is weird, isn't it?
Actually, one of the guys came up and he was wearing a T-shirt saying, "May I suggest this sausage?" And I literally was looking at his T-shirt and I was going, "You may, but I may not say yes." That was interesting. He bought 2 books, so I was like, thanks. But, you know, so many of these girls came up to me and were just, you know, that thing where people shake, that always kind of freaks me out, because I'm like, it's okay, I'm going to hug the shake out of you. But they would come up to me and just go, you know, you really helped me, you know, either come out to my family, realise that it's okay to be gay, or actually it's okay to be depressed and have anxiety and go through that and be honest about it. And that, for me, is the reason why I do this.
Yeah,
you know, if I can in any way help a teenager go through what I was going through and come out of it, that's why I'm here, you know.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. It's a big deal. So, yeah. Big deal. Well done. Earlier on, we were talking about, you know, dealing with parents and having to take care of parents and everything. But even at your age, Cara Delevingne, your mother, has your mother been banned from fashion shows now?
She should be.
She sounds like a liability.
Yeah, I would... No, Mum, you're not, don't worry. So she, I mean, you know, parents can be, you know, it's embarrassing at these things. And my parents are very proud and amazing and adorable. Oh, there she is. And I think she came to a show and she was backstage with me and they were like ushering her to her seat and she walked down outside backstage, the middle of the catwalk. Just before it was about to start and people were trying to get her to go. She walks down the front row and I see her on the camera from backstage, spotting people in the audience in the front row and walking up to them, going, say, I think she tried to walk up to Anna Wintour and go kiss her, say hello, and kind of, and wouldn't sit down. People were trying to start the show and they had to, like, literally physically grab her in some chair somewhere.
Yes,
very funny.
But it must be lovely, you know, for all your parents to see your success and kind of to enjoy it. Because was it your mom was on the set of... Was it The Waterboy that she came to the set?
Sure. Yes. My mother, she has humiliated me a lot, yes. But she doesn't know when she's watching the monitor and she has the headphones on that she can be heard, and she was, you know, watching the monitor while I was doing my Waterboy acting, and she was, I don't know, she's just nuts, my mother. But she's she's a good, lovely lady. I just remembered a story. It was funny about my mother. And I like 20 years ago or whatever it was, I was at the Golden Globes. I got nominated for a Golden Globe too. So I took my parents, just like you. I took my parents, and they kind of actually they invited themselves. But anyways, I remember my mother just gets excited, like your mom, to talk to people or see people or screams out, "Is that?" So somebody gave my mother the thing, like, if you're gonna point at somebody, do it like the point in a different direction, and we'll follow the thumb to who you're pointing to. And so she's like, what? And it's like, you point that way, but the thumb is who you're talking about, and you get away with it a little better. Like, is that Baba? I swear to God, Elton John was about 8 feet away, and I'm seeing my mother getting all crazy, and then she starts going, is that?
Talking about famous faces and meeting famous faces, there's a weird thing going on at the moment. Well, so many weird things because of Donald Trump. But we're suddenly hearing about all these famous people that he asked out, and you are one of them.
Yeah.
What? Yes.
I know.
You could be the first lady.
I could have changed the course of history. We were doing Primary Colours, which was a film about the Clintons and about that. It was at Universal. It was '97, so it was a long time ago. So actually, one only associated Senior Trump with tasteless architecture at that point. And, well, still a boundless sense of narcissistic kind of madness. But I was in my little trailer, which was a normal trailer, and it had a phone, like a proper phone with a, you know... Landline. Yeah. Sort of trailer, though, so it's kind of... Yeah. And no one had ever rung me on it, nor had I ever used it. In fact, I assumed it was not a working machine. And it rang one day, and I picked it up, and it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
What?
Donald Trump was on the other end of the phone going, "Hi, it's Donald Trump here." And I thought someone was having a laugh. And I said, "Oh, fuck off." And he said, "No, I'm ringing to ask you if you would like to, you know, come and stay in one of my lovely apartments, and maybe we could have dinner." And I just didn't know what to say. I was just absolutely astounded, because how did he get my number? I mean, a number that I didn't have in the trailer. Yeah. And so I just said I'd get back to him. And in so many ways I wish I had, because if I had gone out with him for dinner, I could have done that. And then we would all have known. And then maybe he wouldn't have been president. You know?
Well, it's time to meet our musical guest tonight. This music legend shot to fame as the enigmatic frontman of The Smiths, and since then he's found huge success as a solo artist, performing his new single, Spent the Day in Bed. Please welcome for the first time, Morrissey!
Spent the day in bed. I'm very happy I did. Yes, I spent the day in bed. As the workers stay enslaved, I spent the day in bed. I'm not my type, but I love my bed. And I recommend that you stop watching the news, because the news contrives to frighten you, to make you feel small and alone, to make you feel that your mind isn't your own. So I spent the day in bed. It's a consolation when all my dreams are perfectly legal in sheets for which I paid. I am now laid, and I recommend to all of my friends that they stop watching the news, because the news contrives to frighten you, to make you feel small and alone, to make you feel that your mind isn't your own. Oh, time, do as I wish. Time, do as I wish. Oh, time, do as I wish. Time, do as I wish. Oh, time, do as I wish. Time, do as I wish. Oh, time, do as I wish. Do as I wish. I spend the day in bed. You can please yourself, but I spend the day in bed. Pillows like pillars, life ends in death. So there's nothing wrong with being good to yourself. Be good to yourself for once, and no boss, no boss, no rain, no train, no boss, no boss, no rain, no train, no boss, no boss, no rain, no train, no emasculation, no castration, no highway, freeway, motorway, no bus, no bus, no rain, no train, no bus, no bus, no rain, no train, no bus, no bus, no rain, no train.
Thank you.
Fantastic! A big thank you to Morrissey. Thank you very much. Have a seat, guys. Have a seat. Sounding so good. Sounding good, right? Sounding excellent. The voice, untouched by time. Untouched by time.
Yeah.
Right, that's nearly it. Before we go, just time for a visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hello,
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Simone.
Simone, lovely. And where are you from, Simone?
I'm from Brazil.
Are you? Brazil? No, not born and bred in Brazil?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've been here for 11 years, but yes.
Okay, so Simone from Brazil, living here for 11 years. And what do you do here?
I'm a lawyer.
A lawyer? Are you a particular type of lawyer?
Yes, I'm a particular type of lawyer.
Is it ruthless?
No, I wish. No. I do financial services.
Financial services.
Always a conversation starter.
Yes, it really is. Simone. Okay, Simone, off you go with the story.
So I moved here about 11 years ago. But you learn, as a foreigner, you learn English as a second language, and you only learn, the right way to say things. You don't learn swear words or anything like that. So when I moved over, whenever I would hear a word I didn't know, I would try and pick up from the conversation what the meaning was. And I used to work on my first job here. I used to work amongst a number of other blokes, and our manager sat next to us, and I would always assume that when you're at work, you don't swear. So they would always be saying to each other, oh, I can't be asked, I can't be asked, I can't be asked. And I took that was, I can't be asked, because you're asking me to do something, and I can't be asked. So you go to meet the in-laws, or at the time the prospective in-laws, as you do, and you're trying to impress, as you do, and then the mother, who's perfect, British lady, very respectful, very elegant, and she comes and asks me if I wanted to do something in particular. I say, oh, no, thank you, I can't be asked. And she went, I just can't be asked. Oh, again!
You can walk, somebody. You can walk. Go on. You walk. One more. Okay, one more. We'll have one more. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi. You're really tall.
Thank you. No, the chair's just small.
I don't think it is. How tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, not that tall.
Pretty average.
Okay. What's your name?
Albert.
Albert. Lovely.
Yes.
And where are you from, Albert?
I'm from Hollywood in Northern Ireland.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it's a nice place.
Oh, and now what is in Hollywood? Is there a folk village or something there, a folk park?
I think it was voted 2002 best town in Northern Ireland or something like that. So.
Oh, very good.
Shout out, represent.
See,
Yeah.
there's more than one Hollywood, Adam. More than one Hollywood. And do you live there now? No, here.
No, I live here. Yeah.
Oh, what do you
I work
do?
here. I work for a big technology firm.
A big one.
A big
technology one.
Pretty.
Yeah.
That's right.
Big.
Almost as big as me.
It's the technology that got small. All right, off you go with your story.
So I used to live in China, and while I was over there, good start. And while I was over there, I did a bit of traveling, went to central China, and went to a zoo, and it was a pretty bad zoo. And I went to the infirmary enclosure, which is like the sick animals are there. And there was this huge, big white tiger, beautiful big thing, in a really small cage. And this cage was close enough to put your hand in. It was no health and safety at all. And as the tiger walked towards me, I was just admiring it, beautiful thing.